That was, of course, Count Basie's theme, 1 o'clock jump. And don't worry, we'll give you more of that later, I promise. It's very Jazzus Interruptus, I know, to do that. We're going to start things off with Count Basie's tribute to one of the original legends of the Savoy Ballroom, Shorty George Snowden. And this was written by an arranger named Andy Gibson, who was born in Zanesville, Ohio, and did quite a bit of writing for the Basie Band, as well as several others. And so let's get right to it. Here's Shorty George. All right. Well, that's a great way to start off the evening, I must say. Right now, it's time for us to bring forward our very special featured vocalist, the great Laura Windley. Now, during Count Basie's original, as we call it, Old Testament era from 1935 to about 1950, he very, very rarely used female vocalists. That's just not something that really was part of the band, except for a period where Helen Humes waxed a number of sides with the Basie Band. There were a few others that popped in and out, but none of them really stuck the way Helen did. But eventually Helen was fed up with traveling with the band, and the Basie Band kind of went vocalist less. Say that 5 times fast. Except for the great Jimmy Rushing, of course, as well. But we were very lucky that Michael Gamble transcribed a whole bunch of sides for Laura to sing with his orchestra. And so this is one of those on loan from Michael Gamble. This was also arranged by that guy, Andy Gibson, we just mentioned. So this is called Don't Worry About Me. Here's Laura Windley. We'll hear more from Laura later. Up next, we're going to do another tune on loan from the library of the Michael Gamble Rhythm Serenaders Orchestra et al. And this was, again, this is another tune from 1939. We're going to play a lot of tunes from 1939. It was a good year for music, at least. Clearly, it is always too soon for invading Poland. There's never a good time for that. So this tune was co-written by Count Basie and trumpet player Harry Sweets Edison, and it features originally featured one of the unsung heroes of the Basie sax section, alto player Jack Washington, who also doubled on Barry. So in the late 30s, there were, every once in a while, there'd be a pretty cool Barry solo, and that was because of Jack Washington. We're going to have Miles Prower Davis on the Barry on this particular occasion. But this is a great blues, as many of the Count Basie tunes are. This is called Pound Cake. right. Now it's time to introduce our other featured vocalist of the evening. He's going to be joining us on some of the songs on trumpet as well. But one of my dear friends, a member of the Campus 5 for over 20 years, and my favorite male vocalist. Give it up for Jim Ziegler. And if it's Basie night and a male vocalist is coming to the microphone, it's probably because we're going to do a Jimmy Rushing tune. Jimmy Rushing, of course, Mr. 5x5 himself, was one of the iconic members of the Basie band, and he goes back to the Midwest with many members of the Basie band who are always kind of trading sides between bands like Walter Page's Blue Devils and Benny Moten's band and a lot of the territory bands that were around during the late 20s and early 30s. And Jimmy actually grew up in Oklahoma City, and Basie spent an odd amount of time, a lot of time in Oklahoma City for somebody who's notably linked with the Kansas City scene, and they ran into each other there and many other places. So here's one of the classic tunes they recorded. This is called Boogie Woogie and subtitled I May Be Wrong. Jim Ziegler sings for you.
Now I may be wrong, but I won't be wrong always. I may be wrong, but I won't be wrong always. You're gonna long for me, baby, one of these rainy days. That's alright, baby, that's alright for you. That's alright, baby, that's alright for you. Now since I've been to you, baby, that's the way you do. Now she's got wings like a devil, shaped like a frog. But love me like an old hot dog, but I love my baby better than I do myself. Come to find my baby with someone's own body else. Yes, 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 I know.
The great Jim Ziegler. So one of the influential people that came through the Basie band when they were finding their footing, they had moved to New York in 1937 at the behest of record producer John Hammond. But the band was a little ragtag, and they needed a little bit of structure. Just like a lot of us neurodivergent types, a little structure really just helps out. But one of the people that they brought in was somebody that many of them knew from their Kansas City days, and someone who had gone on to fame arranging for Jimmy Lunsford's band, and that would be trombonist and guitar player Eddie Durham. So Eddie Durham joined the band in late '37 and stayed for just about a year, but he contributed many famous songs, both compositionally and arrangement-wise. And this is one of his compositions. It's named for his daughter, and you can find her autobiography of her dad on the internet. But her name is Topsy Durham. And so this is Topsy. Eddie Durham's composition and arrangement, Topsy. I should mention one of the people who's featured on that last song who makes doing something like Basie Night possible. That's, of course, our pianist, Christopher Dawson. We're going to bring Jim Ziegler up to the microphone for one more this set. And this is a tune called The Goin' to Chicago Blues. It's recorded in 1939, co-written by Basie and Jimmy Rushing. Here we go.
Two choruses, layout, and G. Sorry, but I can't take you. Going to Chicago. Sorry, but I can't take you. There's nothing in Chicago for a low-down woman can do. When you see me coming, baby, raise your window high. When you see me coming, baby, raise your window high. When you see me passing, hang your head and cry. Now, hurry down, sunshine. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Hurry down, sunshine. See what tomorrow brings. The sun went down. Tomorrow brought us rain. Now you're so mean and evil. You do things you ought not do. That's around a lot. You're so mean and evil. You do things you ought not do. But you got my kind of honey. I guess I'll have to put up with you. Oh, yeah.
The great Jim Ziegler. We're going to keep Jim up here for one more tune. He's going to go play trumpet on this one. So, you know, it's not polite to talk about religion or politics at the dinner table, but I have to talk to you about one of my religions, and that's I'm an Old Testament man, at least when it comes to Count Basie. Now, how many of you guys have heard the terms New Testament or Old Testament in specifically connection to the great Count Basie? How many folks have heard that? Okay. From me, thank you, Dory. I appreciate that. I learned it from you, Dad. Yes, swish. But basically, Count Basie has two very large parts of his career. The first part, from about 1936 to 1950, is known as the Old Testament Band, and that's almost all of what we're going to be doing tonight. And then from 1952 on, they call that the New Testament Band. What happened is in the late 40s and 50s, it became very hard to sustain the economics of a big band, and Count Basie disbanded. He's formed an octet, actually it was a septet, and Freddie Green wasn't hired, and they played for a week, and then the next week they showed up, and Freddie Green was just already there setting up, and he was like, "Oh, are you on this gig, Pops?" And Freddie said, "I gave you the best years of my life. You think you're leaving me now?" And so Freddie stayed for the rest of both of their lives for another 35 years. Well, anyway, in 1952, Count Basie reformed a full orchestra, but it had a very new sound, a very modern sound, a very New Testament sound, shall we say. Now, like I said, I'm a believer in the Old Testament. That's my favorite thing. But it would be irresponsible of me not to give you at least some of that. So, to that end, our good friend Danny Giannacucci, who is joining us here at Focus for the first time. Give it up for Danny. He was kind enough to hook me up with this chart on Splanky. So this is a tune from 1955. Yeah, written by Neil Hefti, who had a very long relationship with Count Basie and wrote many tunes for him. So from 1955, here's the classic, Splanky. That was fun. I'm not converted, don't worry. But it's nice to have an excuse one time a year to do that, because I wouldn't do it otherwise. Paying tribute to the great Count Basie is a great reason to just kind of dig into all of the material. And that's one of the things that's only available at a place here like Lindy Focus. We're very, very grateful for the opportunity to do these deep dives. I think it's about time we brought Laura Windley back to the microphone. What do you say? We're going to do another selection from Michael Gamble's orchestra's library, and this is called The Song of the Wanderer. We have time for two more songs for you this set. Up next, we're going to do another blues for you. And this one is called Rockin' the Blues. It's from 1941. Alto saxophone player Earl Warren, kind of the dean of the Basie, the sax section wrote this, and it was co-arranged by Buster Harding. So we play for you now, "Rockin' the Blues." Rockin' the Blues. Of course, it makes sense that if alto sax player Earl Warren wrote the tune, he'd get the last little bit, and that was, of course, Jacob Zimmerman on the alto at the end there. We have time for one more song. We're going to meet the band all a little bit later on because I want to try and sort of get on schedule. But our last song illustrates a really important kind of device used by the Basie band, and it was written by another one of the great characters of the Basie band, another one of the big parts of the Basie sound. So everyone knows Lester Young. Everybody's heard that name. Lester Young is amazing. And we will hear more about Lester Young in the future. But one of the great devices of the early Basie band from 1937 to 1939 was the, not quite pitting against, but the using of the other tenor saxophone player, the great Herschel Evans, as kind of a foil. And so almost pitting the two against each other, giving one a solo in one part of the song, giving one another a solo in another part of the song was a great device. And moreover, just having two very, very distinct voices was a really important thing in the Basie band. He often had Harry Sweets Edison and Buck Clayton as two different alternate trumpet sounds. And even after Herschel died in 1939, his spirit and his big sound was still a thing that they always had somebody to kind of bring that sound in, and the people that took over his chair. So he was known as what was called a Texas tenor with a big fat sound. And so people like Illinois Jacquet and Arnett Cobb are in that tradition. And Lester we love, but he had a much lighter sound, and it still ruled, but that big fat Texas tenor sound, that was Herschel. And so this is a song written by Herschel Evans, and this is called Doggin Around. This is our last song for this set. My name is Jonathan Stout. Give it up for this amazing orchestra playing the music of Count Basie from 1938. Here is Doggin Around.
Let's hear it for Jonathan Stout and his all-star orchestra and the music of Count Basie.
And that is just the first set. That is just the first set. There are 2 more sets.
Shake it and break it and hang it up on the wall.
Shake it and break it. Thank ya. All right.
It's Friday night at Lindy Focus, and here from the tip tops of the foggy mountaintops, we bring you Frankie's favorite, the all-American rhythms, bluesy visions, and the trembling tenors of Count Basie. Led to you by Jonathan Stout and his all-star orchestra.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us for set 2 of an entire night, not just the main dance, not just the late night, but entire night of the music of Count Basie and all of the great musicians that were part of that world. That, of course, is our opening theme, 1 o'clock jump. For our first song this set, we will move into a tune from 41. Okay, good. I was right. I doubted myself. This was written by the great arranger Jimmy Mundy, who wrote for many other bands, especially Benny Goodman and Earl Hines. And this was his crack at writing some tunes for Count Basie. And it's a fun one. It's a rare one. This is called the Toon Town Special.
Behind your back. On the inside.
Toontown Shuffle. For our next song, we bring forward to the microphone again the great Laura Windley. Here's another tune that Helen Humes sang with the Basie Band in 1939. Now, you have all heard this song as done by Glenn Miller, who made it a very, very popular song. But the Basie Band added back a very important ingredient, and that's called rhythm. Sick burn, I know, right. But our own Keena McKenzie transcribed this for, I guess, the second focus that we had 5 nights of big band back in, I think, 2014, 15, or 16. But we play for you now the Moonlight Serenade a la Count Basie.
Just you and I, a summer sky, a heavenly breeze, kissing the trees. So don't let me wait. Come to me tenderly in the June night. I stand at your gate and I sing you a song in the moonlight, a love song, my darling, a moonlight serenade. Just you and I, a summer sky, a heavenly breeze, kissing the trees.
Laura Windley. So for our next song, we're going to bring Jim Ziegler back to the microphone to sing for you another Jimmy Rushing song. This was arranged by Eddie Durham, who I mentioned earlier. So from 1938, here is Sent for You Yesterday, and Here You Come Today.
moon look lonesome shining through the trees? Don't the moon look lonesome shining through the trees? Don't your house look lonesome when your baby packs up to leave? Sent for you yesterday, and here you call today. Sent for you yesterday, here you call today. You can't love me, Ben, treat me that way, oh yeah.
That was Jim Ziegler at the microphone. Of course, that's Chris Dawson at the piano. You heard from both Miles Prower Davis and Keenan McKenzie on those tenors, and of course, Gordon Howe on trumpet. Our next song was something I know Norma Miller had a great connection with. This was written by Harry Sweets Edison, one of the trumpet players of the Basie band, and along with Count Basie. And this is called Jive at 5. For our next song, we're going to do a hot one. Over time, the Basie band, especially the Old Testament version, that's from 1936 to about 1950. That's 14 years, and a lot of people came and went from the Basie band. One of the people that popped in for a while was alto saxophone player Tab Smith. And when he arrived, he had this little jam in his saddlebags and brought it to the band, and they recorded it. This is called Blow Top. It's from 1941. The B-side to this 78 was actually Gone with What Wind, the Charlie Christian, Benny Goodman version we heard just a few nights ago. The Basie then recorded on his own. So now we give to you Blow Top. Blow Top. When we were at sound check, somebody thanked me very much for playing the tune Splanky that we played in the last set. And I said, yeah, no, we kind of have to, but you know, I'm an Old Testament man myself, and tunes like that are why. Because there are a million bands in the world that do play Splanky. There are only very few bands. I don't know of any others that play Blow Top. And you get it here at Lindy Focus. We're going to bring Jim Ziegler to the microphone to slow it down for us next. This is a Jimmy Rushing tune. This is called Good Morning Blues.
Good morning, blues, blues, how do you do? Good morning, blues, blues, how do you do? Well, I feel alright, but I've come to worry you. Now, when it's Christmas time, I want to see Santa Claus. I just missed him a couple days ago. When it's Christmas time, I want to see Santa Claus. It's still Christmas season. Don't tell me, my pretty baby, I'll break all the laws. Now, Santa Claus, Santa Claus, listen to my plea. I'm pleased. Santa Claus, Santa Claus, listen to my plea. Don't send nothing for Christmas, but my baby back to me.
Jim's going to stay on stage with us to play one more tune on trumpet. We're trying not to work Jim too hard because he's going to be up all night with us at late night. So we've played for you now. On this whole set has been all Old Testament, but now is that time where we open things up and play a tune in that later era of Basie, the New Testament band, after 1952. And we want to thank Danny Giannacucci for lending us this chart. This is known far and wide as Frankie Manning's favorite song. And for as much as an Old Testament man as I am myself, even I can't argue with Frankie Manning. And you probably shouldn't either. This was written by the tenor saxophonist in the band at the time, Frank Foster, and this is called Shiny Stockings. Shiny Stockings. It was Dan Giannacucci on that trumpet solo, Chris Dawson on piano, and of course, Josh Colazzo on those drums. I think it's time we brought Laura Windley back up for another song. What do you think? Our friend, we had this transcribed several focuses ago, and this was actually written as a tune for the Gene Krupa band, but Jimmy Mundy ended up arranging another version for the Basie band as well. So from 1939, originally sung by Helen Humes, here is Bolero at the Savoy. Yet again, Josh Colazzo. We're going to bring Laura up for some more songs in the next set. We got time for two more of this set. This tune was written by another trumpet player that came through the Basie band by the name of Shad Collins. And I was checking out Count Basie's autobiography again today just to see if there's any more things I could pull. And I clocked this little notice. Apparently, Shad had heard this lick that this tune is based on, played by Dizzy Gillespie when they were both in the Teddy Hill Band just before this. And apparently it was called the Dizzy Crawl. So I suppose we have Dizzy Gillespie to thank partially for this next one. So Shad collaborated with Lester Young and Count Basie on this to make this arrangement. So here is Rockabye Basie. Rockabye Basie. By the way, that was our good friend Chloe Fioranzo on that clarinet solo. It's time for our last tune of this set, but before we introduce it, we need to introduce this band. Give it up for them on the tenor saxophone and baritone saxophone. Give it up for Miles Prower Davis. On clarinet and alto saxophone, Chloe Fioranzo. The dean of our sax section on alto and clarinet, give it up for Jacob Zimmerman. And surprisingly, actually just on tenor, just. Keenan McKenzie, everybody. Of course, our trombone section, the great Jerome Smith. And co-leader of the Mint Julep Jazz Band. Give it up for Lucian Cobb. On trumpet and vocals, you're going to hear him at late night. Give it up for Jim Ziegler, the mysterious mouth of mystery himself. Making his Focus debut, give it up for Danny Giannacucci on trumpet. Of course, another good friend of ours, leader of the Grand Street Stompers and leader of tomorrow's late night Louis Armstrong All-Stars set, the great Gordon Howe. And the leader of our trumpet section on lead trumpet. Give it up for Ken McGee. And now for our all-focus rhythm section. On the piano, Christopher Dawson. On the bass, Michael Gamble. On drums, of course, Josh Colazzo. One more time for our featured vocalist, the other co-leader of the Mint Julep Jazz Band, Laura Windley. And as for me, my name is Jonathan Stout. It's an honor and a privilege to present the music of these artists that we love. I was talking about this earlier when I said that it's true. There are a million bands on earth you can see that will play tunes like Splanky or Shiny Stockings. If you just look for a jazz big band, they'll probably play it for you. But everything else we played tonight, you're not going to find anywhere else. The people on this stage, like the tunes we borrowed from Keenan or from Michael Gamble and our friends up here, this is the only place on earth that celebrates this music and this way. You're not going to see another Old Testament big band Basie show anywhere else on earth. So we thank all of the people that make Lindy Focus possible, because if not for this amazing springboard, we wouldn't get to do stuff like this. So thank you to everyone who makes Lindy Focus possible, not least of which are all of you who show up for Lindy Focus. I know that as we come back from pandemics and as we come back from all the stuff that's gotten in the way, and, you know, the reality is life gets in the way sometimes, and I get it. But sometimes you have to put your money where your mouth is. Sometimes you have to show up. Sometimes you have to care enough about the things you love to make it down here. And you guys are the ones doing that and making this all possible. So I thank you ever so much for being here. Again, thank you to the whole Lindy Focus staff and crew. Thank you to this amazing band. For our final song this set, we present to you something written by Eddie Durham. As I mentioned, the Basie band was super ragged when they came into town in New York in 1937. And they brought on board their old friend Eddie Durham, fresh from the Lunsford band, to kind of whip him into shape. And this is one of the tunes that he created right away for the band, and it's a hot one. It's one of those ones that's sort of a collection of found riffs, so I'm not sure you can really say he wrote it, but he curated it. Let's just say it that way. We're going to hear from two different trumpet players, from two different tenor saxophone players. This is the kind of thing that Basie did best, kind of having each instrumentalist battle each other in kind of a way. This is our last one of this set. Here is Swingin' the Blues. One, two, three, four.
Jonathan Stout and his all-star orchestra. My, oh my, oh my, oh my. And listen.
The St. Louis Blues.
It's Friday night at Lindy Focus, and here from the tip tops of the Foggy Mountain Tops, we bring you Frankie's favorite, the all-American rhythms, bluesy visions, and the trembling tenors of Count Basie, led by Jonathan Stout and his all-star orchestra.
Welcome back, everybody. Don't worry, I promise you're going to get to finish that song later. Welcome back for our third set. That was our opening theme, of course, 1 o'clock jump. I mentioned earlier that Count Basie had a dearth of female vocalists. Helen Humes had a nice long stint, but there really aren't that many songs if you think about it, especially compared to many of the other bands. But one of the other people that did sing with the Count Basie band for a very brief stint was the great Billie Holiday. So we are going to do one of the songs that she sang with the Count Basie band that was captured live over the airwaves from the Savoy Ballroom in 1937. This is from the library of our good friend Michael Gamble, who's playing bass. And we thank you for lending it to us. Laura Windley sings for you now, Swing, Brother, Swing.
Deep rhythm captivates me. Hot rhythm stimulates me. Can't help but swing it, boy. Swing it, brother, swing. Don't stop to diddle daddle. Stop this foolish prattle. Come on, swing me gay. Swing it, brother, swing. Raring to go, and there ain't nobody gonna hold me down. Say, listen, boy, hurry up and send me, let me go to town. Stop this diddle daddle and this foolish prattle. Come on, swing me, Count. Swing it, brother, swing. Deep rhythm captivates me. Hot rhythm stimulates me. Can't help but swing it, boy. Swing it, brother, swing. Don't stop to diddle daddle. Stop this foolish prattle. Come on, swing me, Count. Swing it, brother, swing. Raring to go, and there ain't nobody gonna hold me down. Say, listen, boy, hurry up and send me, let me go to town. Stop this diddle daddle and this foolish prattle. Come on, swing me gay. Swing it, brother, swing.
Laura Windley, everyone. Up next, we're going to do a tune that Count Basie contributed to the Metronome All-Star Band of 1942. So this was a Count Basie composition and arrangement, but I just want to lay out who was in this band. It was kind of absurd. On trumpet, Harry James, Roy Eldridge, and Cootie Williams. On trombone, J.C. Higginbotham and Lou McGarity. Benny Goodman. On saxophones, Toots Mondello, Benny Carter, Vito Musso, Tex Beneke, and the rhythm section of Count Basie, Freddie Green, a bass player I've never heard of, but we'll skip that one, and Gene Krupa. So this is a tune that we actually played at my very first big band gig all the way back in 2003, and it's sort of been a stalwart of our library ever since. It's a fun way to get everybody in the band to get to blow a little bit, and this is called Royal Flush. So we've been lucky enough, having done Basie night at Lindy Focus for quite a while, that we've got a nice library of tunes to draw from. But it's always important to me, at least as much as possible, to add new tunes to that repertoire. And so to that end, we've got a brand new arrangement to debut for you all. Our good friend Danny Giannacucci helped me transcribe this. And this is a tune I've wanted to hear Jim Ziegler sing for probably about 20 years now, and I've just not gotten around to it. This tune was recorded twice by Count Basie, once in the famous Jones Smith Incorporated small group sessions, which you'll hear 2 tunes from tonight at late night. But again, the whole orchestra recorded it in 1940. We give you Jim Ziegler singing Jimmy Russian's turn on Evening.
Evening, every night you come and you find me. Must you always remind me that my gal is gone? Oh, evening, can't you see I'm deep in your power? Moments seem like hours since my gal is gone. Now the shadows fall on the wall. That's time is kiss most of all. Even though I sigh, how can I go wrong? Take me evening, let me sleep till dawn is breaking. Don't care if I don't awaken, since my gal is gone. Now evening, every night you come and you find me. Must you always remind me that my gal is gone? No, 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 evening. Can't see I'm deep in your power. Moments seem like hours since my gal is gone. The shadows fall on the wall. That's time is kiss must fall. Even though I sigh, how can I go wrong? Take me evening, don't till dawn is breaking. Don't care if I don't awaken, since my gal is gone.
Jim Ziegler singing for you, Evening. Well, I mentioned Lester Young earlier, and as probably the most famous all-star musician in the Basie universe, he gets an awful lot of attention, and almost all of it well-deserved. But we haven't played enough Lester Young for you, so this is one of the tunes that he wrote. With some arranging help from Andy Gibson from 1940. And in that Count Basie way, there's originally a Herschel Young or Herschel Evans solo, and then a Lester solo. So there's some nice pairing off here. We got Miles Prower Davis on the first one. We got Keenan on the Prez solo. Here for you now is Tickle Toe. Wow. Lester Young's Tickle Toe, Miles Prower Davis on tenor, Gordon Howe on trumpet, Keena McKenzie on that killin' tenor solo, got Chris Dawson on piano. We're gonna bring Jim Ziegler up for one more Jimmy Rushing tune. Now, this was written by a Harvard alumni who was a jazz writer and jazz fan and gave the lyrics to the Basie band, and Jimmy Rushing and company turned it into this great tune. This is called The Harvard Blues.
Now I wear Brooks clothes and white shoes all the time, except tonight. because it's not summer. I wear Brooks clothes, Brooks Brothers that is, white shoes all the time. Get 3 C's and a D, think checks from home is sublime. Keep 'em coming, I need 'em. Now I don't keep dogs or women in my room. Yeah. I don't keep dogs or women in my room. But I love my business, baby, until the day of doom. I'm gonna call my buddy Reinhardt up and say, Reinhardt, Reinhardt, I'm a most indifferent guy. Reinhardt, Reinhardt, I'm a most indifferent guy. Still, I love my Vincents, baby, and that's no Harvard lie. Oh, yeah.
Well, believe it or not, we only have time for 2 more for you, but give it up one more time for Jim Ziegler. We're going to bring our other featured vocalist to the microphone for her last song tonight, at least at the main dance, that is. Give it up one more time for Laura Windley. This time she's going to do the Basie band version from 1939 of Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea, transcribed by our very own Kim McKenzie. One more time for Laura Windley. Well, it's time for our final song of the evening. At least at the main dance, there's a whole late night filled with the small group sounds of Count Basie and many of the Kansas City musicians that made his music possible. Give it up one more time for this entire band on tenor saxophone, baritone saxophone, and clarinet. Miles Prower Davis making his Focus debut. Of course, on alto and clarinet, our good friend Chloe Fioranzo. The dean of our sax section on alto and clarinet, Jacob Zimmerman. And of course, one of your band leaders here at Lindy Focus on tenor saxophone, Keenan McKenzie. Our trombone section, the great Jerome Smith. And co-leader of the Mint Julep Jazz Band from Durham, North Carolina, Lucian Cobb. Of course, one more time on trumpet and vocals, Jim Ziegler. Another friend making his Focus debut. He hooked me up with a couple charts for this, and we really loved having him. Give it up for Danny Giannacucci on trumpet. Of course, on trumpet and leading our Louis Armstrong All-Stars tribute tomorrow night, leader of the Grand Street Stompers. That's Gordon Howe on trumpet. And of course, hitting all of those extremely high notes, the one and only, the very best, Ken McGee on lead trumpet. Of course, our version of the All-American Rhythm section on the piano, doing all that Basie fineness, the great Christopher Dawson. On bass, one of the founders of Lindy Focus, leader of the Rhythm Serenaders, and your leader late night tonight for the Basie All-Star set. Give it up for Michael Gamble. On drums, the one and only, the very best, Josh Colazzo. One more time for Laura Windley, also co-leader of the Mint Julep Jazz Band out of Durham, North Carolina. And as for me, my name is Jonathan Stout. I said earlier, it's an honor and a privilege to present the music of these artists that we love. All of this pre-bebop jazz is really missing from jazz history or the jazz that people talk about. If you listen to a jazz radio station, I'll bet you dollars to donuts, the amount of this music that gets played is almost zero compared to all of the other kinds of jazz. And you know what? I'm glad other people are playing other kinds of jazz. That's great. We need all of that stuff. But we need some of this too. And I don't want to Lindy hop to any of that other kind of jazz. I want to Lindy hop to this kind of music. I want to do a Balboa to this kind of music. That's what they invented it. It goes that they match. Anyway, Lindy Focus is one of the few places on earth that you can hear this much live music. And it's the only place that you can get these kind of deep dives, like a whole night of Count Basie. You're not going to get that anywhere else. We thank everyone who makes Lindy Focus possible because we wouldn't get to do fun stuff like this without them. And we thank you all most of all for showing up, because if you're not here paying for it, there is no Lindy Focus. So we really, really deeply mean it when we say thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for making all of this possible. All of you, thank you guys so much. We've got some rabble-rousers in the front here, so I know I can count on somebody. What are we going to end with? Very close. Very close. Sort of right. Sort of right. More right than wrong. Do we have another guess? That's tomorrow night. No, that's a different night. I heard it. I heard. What was? There we go. Jumping at the Woodside. Because how could we not? And this particular version comes to us from either 1943 or 1944, live over the air. Lester Young was back with the Basie band for a short stint. And let's throw down. This is the music of Count Basie, and this is Jumping at the Woodside.
more
You
than
guys
that.
have mastered the universal encore signal. Very quick, unequivocal stomping and clapping, such that it is inarguable that you both want and deserve an encore. Very good job. I will say, I feel bad for audiences when there's just not enough of them to make all of that noise. But I'm so grateful there's enough of you that you all just like made that noise so fast. Good job. Excellent work. Yay, team. Now, I made you a promise earlier tonight. Who knows what that promise was? I said you would get to finish that song, and now you will. We're going to play another version live over the air from 1943 or 1944. This is our final song. How could we not give you the whole thing? The Count Basie theme song, The 1 O'Clock Jump.
Jive is on the clarinet. Show them some love. Away to close out the night. Well deserved. Thank you so much to Jonathan Stout and the All-Star Orchestra. But hang on. Hang on. I said hang on. There's more music happening at late night. And whose music is it? That's